The Great Pyramid of Giza. For nearly 5,000 years, we've been told a simple story. Pharaoh Khufu built this colossal monument as his tomb, constructed by thousands of workers in just 20 short years, armed with nothing but primitive copper chisels, armed with ropes and sheer determination. As you can see, we're leaving a lot of metal and very little stone is plagued. But here's the problem. Practically everything you've ever learned about the pyramids isn't based on solid facts. It's based on educated guesses at best. So what if the real story isn't just incomplete, but deliberately hidden? At the heart of this mystery stands one man, Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most powerful archaeologist. For decades, Hawass alone has controlled every excavation, every discovery, and every ancient secret buried beneath Egypt's sands. I'm talking about the gate that has been closed. The is not closed. It is closed. No, it's not. Okay, I closed it, and I am going to close it. Even before a word is exchanged, one image and Mr. Hawass leaves. But here's where it gets strange. Rather than welcoming fresh ideas, Hawass is infamous for blocking independent research and silencing alternative theories, especially ones that threaten the official narrative he's worked so hard to uphold. Because most of the information that's written on pyramids are wrong. Most of it in archaeology books. Really, except me. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but why exactly has Hawass fought so fiercely to stop certain explorations? Why shut down research at the very moment groundbreaking discoveries are made? Discoveries that might rewrite human history itself? Is he protecting Egypt's heritage, or is he protecting something else entirely? If you've ever wondered whether there's more to the pyramids than meets the eye, trust me, you'll want to keep watching. Because tonight we're diving deep into evidence that's baffled scientists, frustrated archaeologists, and left historians speechless. The precision of the Great Pyramid defies our understanding of ancient engineering. Every block is a mystery. Modern technology is revealing voids and chambers that shouldn't exist according to the official timeline. This is where the new data clashes with the old guard, a conflict that has defined Egyptian archaeology for decades. What lies beneath the sand is more than just stone. It's a challenge to everything we think we know. The quest for the truth continues, despite the barriers, despite the gates that have been closed. Join us as we unlock the secrets, because the story of the pyramids is just beginning.
From hidden chambers to precision stonework that's difficult to replicate today, the Great Pyramid is older than we're told. Tonight, we'll peel back the layers of secrecy and reveal evidence hidden in plain sight. Could it be ancient technology? Historians claim basic tools were used, but the mathematical precision and 80-ton blocks suggest something far more advanced. Aligned to true north within a fraction of a degree, it shows a level of engineering we can barely match today. Why is this evidence ignored? Perhaps because the truth would dismantle the entire foundation of modern history. With discoveries like the massive Big Void, the stones tell a story of a lost, highly advanced chapter of humanity. The journey into the truth has only just begun. Join us as we uncover the secrets they don't want you to see. The more we examine the conventional story of Giza, the more convincing this explanation actually becomes. Surprisingly, there's very little solid evidence backing this popular version of history. And it turns out many of our assumptions might be built on shaky ground. Could it be that we've misunderstood who really built the Great Pyramid? And how they managed such an astonishing accomplishment? Consider this surprising fact. Even though the Great Pyramid is incredibly important historically, there aren't any clear inscriptions from Khufu's era explicitly stating that he built it. Ancient Egyptians carefully recorded almost every aspect of their lives, from ordinary daily activities to elaborate religious rituals and royal events. Yet, strangely, they didn't leave behind any clear documentation about constructing their most remarkable monument. Archaeologists sometimes reference faint marks and symbols discovered deep within hidden chambers. But these were found hundreds of years after the pyramid was first explored, raising serious doubts about their authenticity. After all, just because someone's name appears on a structure doesn't necessarily mean they're the ones who built it. One of the most puzzling inconsistencies of all involves the very purpose of the Great Pyramid itself. Mainstream Egyptology maintains it was a tomb. But unlike every other known tomb in Egypt, it contained no mummified remains, no funerary goods, and no decorative paintings. Then there is the precision. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy of within 3/60ths of a degree. How was such precision achieved using primitive tools? The blocks, some weighing over 50 tons, were transported from hundreds of miles away. Consider the internal shafts, often called air shafts. They point directly to specific star systems as they would have appeared millennia ago. Was it a tomb or a sophisticated instrument of astronomical alignment, perhaps even a source of power? The questions only grow more complex the deeper we look. The absence of evidence for the official story is, in itself, a form of evidence. If we are to truly understand our past, we must be willing to challenge the consensus and follow the evidence wherever it leads. The Great Pyramid remains a silent witness to a history we are only beginning to rediscover. What else lies hidden beneath the sands? The granite coffer inside the king's chamber shows signs of advanced machining, with circular saw marks that defy conventional explanation. Some theorists suggest a lost technology, a way of manipulating stone that has been forgotten by time. Even the Sphinx nearby shows signs of water erosion that could push its construction back thousands of years before the dynastic Egyptians. If the geology is correct, our entire timeline of human civilization needs a radical rewrite. The mystery of Giza is far from solved. Join us as we continue to seek the truth. The Great Pyramid was long thought to be Pharaoh Khufu's elaborate tomb. Yet, unlike every other known royal Egyptian tomb, it contains no inscriptions glorifying him, no decorative artifacts, no precious grave goods, and crucially, no trace of Khufu's remains. This absence challenges the very foundation of Egyptology. If the pyramid was indeed constructed as a royal burial place, we would expect extensive evidence like treasures, funerary artifacts, and inscriptions typical of royal tombs. But none of these have ever been discovered within the Great Pyramid. This striking absence raises a significant question for historians and researchers alike. Could the pyramid's true purpose have been something entirely different, perhaps more sophisticated or functional than historians have traditionally assumed? An even greater mystery is the astonishing precision and complexity of the pyramid itself. Its design suggests a level of engineering that defies simple explanation. Modern architects and engineers still marvel at how accurately the Great Pyramid aligns with true north, precise to fractions of a single degree. Inside the pyramid, huge granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each show evidence of advanced machining and precise drilling techniques. These techniques seem far beyond what historians assume ancient Egyptians could achieve with simple copper tools and stone hammers. Engineer Christopher Dunn carefully studied these granite stones, noting perfectly round drill holes and tool marks that suggest high-speed mechanical tools. Dunn's research highlights that the flatness of these stones matches modern industrial standards, a feat nearly impossible with manual labor. When we look at the Giza Plateau, we aren't just looking at tombs, we are looking at a masterclass in geodetic and mechanical engineering. The lack of evidence for a burial, combined with this extreme precision, forces us to reevaluate what we think we know about our ancient past. Over 2 million blocks of stone, each placed with millimeter accuracy, the logistical challenge alone is staggering, even by modern standards. The shafts, once thought to be for ventilation, are now understood to align with specific stars, adding an astronomical layer to the mystery. Could there have been a lost technology, or perhaps a different understanding of physics that allowed these ancient builders to manipulate stone so effortlessly? Even the sarcophagus itself shows tool marks that modern engineers calculate would require a massive saw blade with incredible downward pressure. The Grand Gallery is a structural marvel, unlike anything found in other tombs, serving a purpose that remains a subject of intense debate. Theories range from a tomb to a symbolic machine, or even a functional power plant. Each theory attempts to explain the unique features found here. In its prime, the pyramid was covered in polished white limestone, reflecting the sun like a beacon across the desert sands. The Giza complex stands as a testament to a civilization whose true capabilities we may only be beginning to grasp. As we continue to explore and measure, the Great Pyramid remains a silent witness to a history far more complex than we ever imagined. The questions remain, the mystery endures, and the Great Pyramid keeps its secrets. For now. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a testament to an era of engineering brilliance that continues to baffle modern science. While we often admire its scale, it's the microscopic precision of its construction that truly defies conventional explanation. Among the most striking anomalies are the drill cores and remarkably precise cuts found throughout the site. These features are extremely difficult, if not impossible, to replicate using the primitive methods attributed to the Old Kingdom. Recent attempts by modern researchers to duplicate these cuts with copper chisels have failed dramatically. Their tools quickly became unusable, and they made minimal progress even after days of continuous, grueling effort. This raises an important question. If even today's technology struggles with these tasks, how did ancient Egyptians achieve such precision thousands of years ago? When asked about progress, experts like Dennis suggest that even with modern power, a 4mm drop into a granite dome would take an hour of constant work. An equally puzzling detail comes from inside the pyramid's intricate network of passageways and chambers. To construct such complicated internal structures, workers would have needed reliable sources of light to see clearly and navigate safely. Traditionally, historians suggest that simple torches or oil lamps provided this essential lighting. Yet astonishingly, examinations of these chambers and tunnels show no traces of soot, smoke residue, or scorch marks anywhere, something that would be unavoidable if traditional lighting methods were used. This surprising absence challenges the conventional explanation. Could they have used a sophisticated system of mirrors to redirect sunlight, or perhaps a technology we have yet to rediscover? The precision isn't limited to the blocks themselves. Hard stone vessels found beneath the step pyramid show similar high-tech machining. When we look at the data collectively, the narrative of Copper Age tools begins to crumble under the weight of engineering logic. Experiments with sand and copper saws have been attempted, but the rate of wear on the copper is disproportionate to the stone removed. In the quarries of Aswan, we see evidence of large-scale material removal that suggests tools far more powerful than diorite pounders. Even the most prominent archaeologists admit that while we know when they were built, the how remains a subject of intense debate. The base of the Great Pyramid is leveled to within 3/4 of an inch across 13 acres, a feat that modern surveyors find staggering. Is it possible this precision was part of a global standard of engineering that was later lost to time? The more we look, the more we find that the past was far more advanced than we have been led to believe. The mystery remains etched in stone. Join us next time as we continue to peel back the layers of history's greatest enigmas. The Giza Plateau stands as a silent witness to a history far more complex than we have been led to believe. For decades, a specific narrative has dominated our understanding of these structures. But new discoveries are raising fascinating questions. Could the pyramid builders have had access to some form of advanced lighting technology, or does this hint at a completely different method of construction? These discoveries suggest an intriguing possibility. The original pyramid builders may have possessed knowledge or technology much more advanced than what mainstream historians currently recognize. Yet, instead of openly considering these ideas, mainstream archaeology, particularly under Dr. Zahi Hawass, has strongly defended the established historical narrative. Independent researchers like Robert Bauval, who proposed the Orion correlation theory, have faced significant resistance for their findings. He suggested the pyramids align exactly with Orion's belt as it appeared thousands of years before Khufu, suggesting a much older origin. Similarly, researchers like Robert Schoch and John Anthony West have found intriguing geological evidence of extensive water erosion around the Great Sphinx. In fact, John Anthony West clearly showed that the unusual weathering patterns at the Sphinx's base were caused by heavy rainfall and flowing water. This is not the wind or sand erosion typical of the region. The Sphinx and its surrounding pit are worn differently, showing a round, undulating profile. These patterns are usually caused by rainwater and torrential downpours. But here is the mystery that mainstream science struggles to explain. The last time there was enough rainfall in the Sahara Desert to cause this level of water erosion was over 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. This era, known as the Younger Dryas, saw dramatic climatic shifts that could have rewritten the history of human civilization. Even if the repairs were done because of water damage, a major question is still unanswered. When was there water in the desert? The answer is hidden in the very stones we walk upon, pointing to a civilization lost to time, one that existed long before the pharaohs. The level of precision found in the Old Kingdom structures suggests a peak in technology that was never matched by later dynasties. West and Schoch's work remains a cornerstone for those who believe that our ancestors were far more capable than we give them credit for. It is a clash between the hard evidence of geology and the established timelines of archaeology, one that demands a more open-minded approach. The more we look, the more we find that the pyramids were not just tombs, but perhaps complex machines or astronomical observatories. Modern technology like muon tomography is already revealing hidden voids, suggesting there is still so much left to discover. As we uncover more evidence, the silence of the pyramids begins to speak, revealing a past more complex and ancient than we ever imagined. The truth is out there, etched into the very stones of Giza. Join us as we continue to explore the mysteries of our ancient world. Thank you for watching. At the end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago, this fascinating timeline hints that the Sphinx might actually have been built by a much older civilization, long before ancient Egypt as we know it even existed. West developed his theory. I think the history of the Sphinx goes something like this. Long ago, before Egypt became desert, the Giza Plateau was a fertile savanna. At its very edge was a large outcrop of natural rock. An unknown group of sculptors, taking advantage of its prominent position, carved the rock into a giant face. May have been the face of a god or of the lion. Perhaps the Egyptians simply modified or reshaped something already standing. An ancient relic from a forgotten era. Time passed. Shifting weather patterns brought torrential rain to the area, signaling the end of the ice age. The rains weathered the lion to virtually the shape we see today. When the rain stopped, the once fertile savanna turned into Sahara Desert. Wind-blown sands buried the statue up to its neck for thousands of years, protecting the body and its telltale traces of water weathering. Possibly it was recarved. Certainly, the 4th Dynasty kings who built the pyramids around 2500 BC uncovered the Sphinx, and further fashioned the face in their image. Pharaoh Khufu didn't build the Sphinx, he restored it. Yet, even though this explanation is backed by solid science, and is currently the most convincing theory we have, mainstream Egyptologists still reject or overlook it. Surprisingly, they haven't provided many other convincing explanations either, leaving this compelling puzzle about the Sphinx's true age still waiting to be solved. The sands of Egypt hold secrets that challenge the very foundation of our history books. John Anthony West's discovery raised many questions. In a debate that shook the academic world, geologists sided with West. Egyptologists have offered few replies to his conclusions. West is really an academic's worst nightmare. Because here comes somebody way out of left field with a thoroughly well thought out, well presented, and coherently described theory. It is beautifully written, full of data you can't refute, and it pulls the rug from beneath your feet. So how do they deal with it? They ignore it. They hope it'll go away, and it won't go away. This raises a critical question. Why the resistance to exploring these alternative possibilities? Is the hesitation truly about protecting Egypt's heritage, or could it be about preserving professional reputations, academic traditions, or even national pride? If there genuinely is nothing extraordinary beneath Egypt's sands, then why such persistent secrecy and reluctance to investigate further? What is being protected? Perhaps there's advanced, forgotten technology hidden within the pyramid, technology that could fundamentally alter our understanding, challenging everything we thought we knew about humanity's past and the origins of our civilization. As we journey deeper into this mystery, the answers we uncover may prove far more surprising than we imagined. The mystery surrounding who really built the Sphinx remains one of the greatest enigmas of human history. We see evidence of precision that rivals modern machining. How could a Bronze Age society achieve such feats? West suggested the Sphinx was thousands of years older than the pyramids, dating back to a lost age of rain. Imagine a Giza that was green, fertile, and home to a civilization we have completely forgotten. This geological clock doesn't lie. It points to a time long before the pharaohs ever set foot on these sands. The vertical fissures are the smoking gun. They can only be formed by thousands of years of heavy rain. If West is right, we must rewrite every textbook. We must acknowledge a predecessor to our own history. Even the stars seem to agree. The alignment with the constellation Leo suggests a date far deeper in the past. What was the Sphinx guarding? A library of records, or a legacy of technology left for us to find? The time for secrecy is over. The truth is buried, but it will not remain hidden forever. We must keep asking the questions they want us to ignore. Join us as we continue to unearth the impossible. Because the greatest story ever told is the one we haven't discovered yet. The Great Pyramid of Giza is a monument that has stood for millennia, yet its greatest secrets may still be hidden deep within its core. The structure becomes even more intriguing when we venture inside, because what lies beneath the surface is far stranger than you'd expect. Usually, we're told about just a few rooms, the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, and the connecting passageways. But recent discoveries have revealed something astonishing. The pyramid might be hiding far more than historians ever realized. Back in the early 1990s, a German engineer named Rudolf Gantenbrink made headlines by exploring narrow tunnels inside the queen's chamber. These were shafts experts believed were purely symbolic, leading nowhere. Using a small robotic camera, he uncovered something extraordinary. A mysterious limestone door fitted neatly into the tunnel, complete with two small copper handles. It was nicknamed Gantenbrink's door. Metal fittings like these copper handles had never been found anywhere else inside the pyramid, hinting this door protected something important. But just as the team was poised to discover what lay behind it, the investigation was suddenly halted without clear explanation. For nearly a decade, the world waited. The mystery of Gantenbrink's door became a staple of archaeological debate. In 2002, a new mission sponsored by National Geographic returned with a more advanced robot, the Pyramid Rover. Live on global television, the robot drilled a small hole through the door and inserted a fiber optic camera to see what was behind it. To everyone's shock, there wasn't a chamber, but another door. The mystery had only deepened. Why build two doors in such a narrow, inaccessible shaft? Was it to protect a sacred object, or was it part of a complex architectural design? Nearly another decade passed before the JD project in 2011 used even more advanced imaging technology. They found red ochre markings on the floor, signs left by the workers over 4,000 years ago, unseen by human eyes since the pyramid's completion. The southern shaft isn't the only one. Similar shafts lead from the northern wall of the Queen's Chamber, also blocked by mysterious doors. In recent years, the Scan Pyramids project has taken a different approach, using cosmic ray muon radiography to peer through the stone. They discovered a massive, previously unknown void, at least 30 meters long, directly above the Grand Gallery. Are these narrow shafts and doors somehow connected to this large void? Could they be the keys to accessing it? Renowned archaeologists like Zahi Hawass remain cautious, suggesting these voids may just be structural gaps intended to relieve pressure. But for many, the presence of metal-handled doors suggests a purpose far more intentional and perhaps sacred. The Great Pyramid continues to guard its secrets fiercely. Every time we think we've seen it all, it reveals another layer of mystery. What lies beyond those doors? Perhaps one day we will finally know. The Great Pyramid of Giza remains one of history's greatest enigmas, standing as a testament to precision that defies explanation. While mainstream history offers one narrative, the physical evidence etched into the stone tells a far more complex story. But once again, requests for deeper exploration have been consistently denied by Egyptian authorities, citing vague concerns about safety. Beyond these hidden chambers, researchers like engineer Christopher Dunn have documented patterns that show evidence of advanced tooling. Dunn noted perfectly drilled holes and precision marks consistent with machinery far beyond the capability of copper chisels. Granite is among Earth's hardest stones. Basic ancient tools would rapidly wear out, raising the question, how was this achieved? These findings suggest the builders had access to advanced technology or inherited knowledge from a much older civilization. Yet, mainstream archaeology maintains a defensive approach. They might simply be concerned about the implications. The stone holds a memory of a time we don't fully understand. Until we explore further, the mystery of the builders remains, protecting Egypt's heritage from sensational claims. But this caution may unintentionally prevent us from discovering vital truths hidden right beneath our feet. Ultimately, we're left with several compelling mysteries. What secrets are concealed behind those sealed limestone doors? What purpose does the massive hidden chamber discovered in 2017 serve? And could exploring these hidden spaces finally reveal who truly built the Great Pyramid Village? And how they accomplished this astonishing feat? With so many mysteries still hidden deep within the Great Pyramid, one person stands firmly between us and the answers. Dr. Zahi Hawass, the man whose decisions have shaped not only what the public knows about ancient Egypt, but more importantly, what we don't. For decades, Hawass has dominated Egyptian archaeology, charismatic, outspoken, and fiercely protective of Egypt's ancient heritage. He's held powerful positions like Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities and Minister of Antiquities. These roles have given him unparalleled control over who gets permission to dig, what research can be conducted, and ultimately which discoveries ever see the light of day. But behind his passionate promotion of Egyptian culture lies a much darker reality. A rigid and secretive system that has consistently blocked researchers attempting to challenge established historical narratives. Now, supporters of Hawass could argue he's simply safeguarding Egypt's priceless treasures from speculative or irresponsible theories. But could there be another, more unsettling possibility? Could Hawass's strict regulation intentionally keep certain truths hidden to preserve comfortable established historical narratives? To understand this power, one must look at the controversies that defined his tenure. In 1993, German engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink used a small robot to discover a mysterious door, with copper handles deep within the Great Pyramid's shafts. The discovery ignited global interest, but Gantenbrink was soon sidelined, his findings taken over by the state. Years later, under Hawass's direction, another robot drilled through that door, only to find a second one. Hawass downplayed the find, maintaining a careful distance from any theory that didn't fit the official mold. Fast forward to 2017, when the Scan Pyramids project announced a massive discovery. A team of international scientists announced the discovery of a massive 30-meter void using cosmic ray muon imaging. Hawass was initially dismissive, calling the find zero and suggesting it was merely an anomaly. Critics argue this pattern of skepticism serves a dual purpose. It protects the archaeological record from sensationalism, but it also ensures that no major paradigm shift occurs without his stamp of approval. Archaeologists have often described an environment where dissent carries a heavy price. To challenge the official narrative is to risk losing the very access needed. While Hawass championed the return of stolen artifacts and raised the global profile of Egyptology, for decades, one man has stood at the center of Egyptian archaeology, his presence as towering as the monuments he protects. Dr. Zahi Hawass. To some, he is a tireless champion of heritage. To others, a controversial figure wielding absolute control. As the former Minister of Antiquities, his influence over the Giza Plateau and beyond has been absolute for nearly half a century. He has successfully brought the mysteries of the pharaohs into millions of homes, raising Egypt's global profile to unprecedented heights. But beneath the surface of this success, a troubling question lingers in the academic and archaeological communities. Is this control serving the history of the world, or is it serving a more curated narrative? Independent researchers often find themselves at odds with the official stances held by the ministry. The Giza Plateau is more than just a tourist site. It is a vault of human history, and Hawass has held the only key. Rumors of hidden chambers and robotic explorations have fueled debates for decades. Any discovery must pass through him. When advanced technology suggests anomalies beneath the Sphinx or the Great Pyramid, the world waits for his permission to look closer. This brings us to the heart of the controversy. Is history being protected, or is it being managed? Narratives, protecting professional reputations, academic traditions, or even Egypt's national pride? Let me know what you think in the comments below when this video is over. Your perspective on this debate is vital, because by carefully deciding who can research and precisely what can be publicly revealed, Hawass has effectively positioned himself as the ultimate gatekeeper of Egyptian history, possibly silencing discoveries capable of rewriting our entire understanding of the ancient world. Hawass's legacy is complicated. On one hand, he has passionately promoted Egyptian culture, dramatically raising Egypt's global profile. But this influence may have come at an unseen cost. His restrictive policies might unintentionally, or perhaps intentionally, have prevented critical exploration, leaving crucial truths about ancient Egypt still buried beneath the sands. What else remains undiscovered? This leaves us with a troubling question. Is Dr. Zahi Hawass genuinely protecting Egypt's heritage, or is he guarding something else? Secrets that could rewrite history entirely? The implications for our understanding of human civilization are massive. Until Egyptian archaeology embraces genuine transparency, we may never know exactly what's hidden behind those carefully guarded doors. With these questions still lingering, let's explore some alternative theories that mainstream science has yet to fully address. The journey into Egypt's true past is only just beginning. Join us as we look beyond the gatekeeper. Archaeology seems reluctant to discuss. Independent researchers have discovered compelling evidence that challenges the official story we've always been told. Earlier, we mentioned Dr. Robert Schoch's fascinating findings on the Sphinx, suggesting its origins might stretch back far beyond accepted timelines, potentially linked to an older, forgotten civilization that existed long before the dynastic Egyptians we study today. Building on this possibility is Robert Bauval's remarkable Orion correlation theory. Bauval noticed something truly extraordinary. The three main pyramids at Giza perfectly mirror the stars of Orion's belt, but not as they appeared during Pharaoh Khufu's reign. Instead, their alignment precisely matches the constellation's position around 10,500 BC, thousands of years earlier than traditional history accepts. This isn't likely just a coincidence. Orion held deep significance in ancient Egyptian culture, symbolizing the god Osiris. Osiris, the ruler of the afterlife, symbolized rebirth and the eternal cycle of life and death for the ancients. If Bauval's theory holds true, it could mean the pyramid builders had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. They were deliberately encoding their monuments with celestial meaning, knowledge historians typically believe they simply didn't possess. Taking things even further, some researchers suggest Egypt's monuments aren't just symbolic, but functional. We see precision engineering that defies the crude copper tools available during the Old Kingdom. Megalithic blocks, some weighing over 50 tons, were cut and moved with a level of accuracy we struggle to replicate today. From the intricate drilling patterns in granite to the near-perfect orientation to true north, the evidence is overwhelming. The evidence points toward a lost level of high technology, far beyond what we give the ancients credit for. Was there a precursor civilization, one that understood the stars and the stone better than we ever imagined? As we continue to probe these desert sands, the whispers of the past grow louder, challenging our textbooks. We must consider a much older, more complex origin for the wonders of the Nile. The truth may be written in the stars. The Giza Plateau remains a silent witness to a story we are only beginning to decode. What else lies hidden beneath the sand? New technology is revealing anomalies and hidden chambers that suggest the Sphinx and pyramids still have secrets to tell. Join us as we continue to investigate the mysteries of our ancestors. The evidence is there for those willing to look. The journey to uncover our true history is only just beginning. Until next time, keep questioning the official story. Stay curious, stay investigative. We'll see you in the next chapter of Echoes of Orion. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands as a testament to an era we are still struggling to understand. But what if the story we've been told is incomplete? Impressive monuments might actually connect back to a much older, lost civilization, one with advanced technology and skills far surpassing anything historians currently recognize. Engineer Christopher Dunn meticulously examined the granite blocks inside the Great Pyramid and discovered something startling. He discovered evidence of precise drilling marks and advanced tool cuts that primitive copper chisels simply couldn't produce. Granite is incredibly hard. Even with modern hand tools, making precise cuts like those Dunn observed would be remarkably complicated. Could ancient Egyptians really have managed such intricate craftsmanship with basic tools, or were they assisted by technologies from another civilization entirely? Another puzzling inconsistency surrounds how the Egyptians transported enormous granite blocks to the pyramid site. Some of these massive stones weigh up to 80 tons each, and their source was located over 500 miles away from the Giza Plateau. Mainstream historians have provided no convincing explanation for how these immense stones could be moved across such vast distances without wheels. Even today, transporting stones of this size and weight would present extraordinary logistical challenges requiring modern machinery. When we look closer at the feed rates of the drills used at Giza, we find they exceed the capabilities of modern diamond drills. This isn't just art, it's engineering. The precision implies a standardized mechanical process that suggests a lost industrial age. Inside the king's chamber, 70 tons of granite beams are placed with such accuracy that you can't even fit a razor blade between them. Why use such massive, difficult-to-work materials? Some theorists believe these chambers weren't for burial, but for something more functional. The granite used is rich in quartz, a piezoelectric material. Could the pyramid have been designed as a massive resonator? Christopher Dunn's research leads us to the power plant hypothesis, the idea that the pyramid was a machine for generating energy. Evidence of hydrochloric acid and hydrated zinc has been found, hinting at chemical processes occurring deep within the structure. If these theories are correct, the tomb explanation is just a cover for a technology we are only beginning to comprehend. The precision also extends to the stars. The alignment with true north and Orion's belt is far beyond coincidence. The dimensions of the pyramid encode the circumference of the Earth and the golden ratio. This was a global civilization. Mainstream archaeology, led by figures like Dr. Zahi Hawass, maintains the tomb theory, but the physical evidence tells a different story. Are we looking at the remnants of a lost golden age of technology? It's time to follow the evidence, wherever it may lead. Join us as we continue to unlock the secrets of our hidden past. Modern construction relies on heavy-duty equipment, specialized transport vehicles, and years of extensive planning. Yet, we are told that ancient builders achieved similar feats with simple tools and manpower alone. This significant gap in the traditional narrative raises an obvious question for modern researchers. How exactly could ancient builders have achieved what would still be incredibly challenging for modern engineers? Graham Hancock expands on this theory, proposing that there was once an advanced global civilization, now forgotten. He suggests this culture was lost due to a devastating global catastrophe or a long, gradual decline. Hancock points to sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, an impressive temple complex dating back 12,000 years. He suggests that this sophisticated knowledge wasn't lost entirely, but rather passed down in fragments. These fragments eventually influenced the early Egyptians, providing the foundation for their sudden rise. Researchers like John Anthony West and Dr. Robert Schoch echo this view, citing physical evidence on the Giza Plateau. They suggest the Egyptians didn't spontaneously develop their incredible abilities overnight. Instead, they propose these architectural, astronomical, and mathematical abilities were inherited. This explains why Egyptian culture appears to emerge suddenly, rather than developing gradually over time. Consider the massive granite beams within the king's chamber, stones weighing up to 70 tons each. How are these blocks raised over 100 feet into the air without the aid of modern machinery? The precision found in diorite bowls and granite casings suggests tools we have yet to rediscover. Their astronomical alignments are so precise they rival the accuracy of modern satellite positioning. We are left searching for a legacy that official history may have overlooked or misinterpreted. The debate between traditional archaeology and these alternative theories continues to grow. New technologies, like muon scanning, are revealing voids and chambers that have remained hidden for millennia. Every new discovery brings us closer to understanding the true origins of this magnificent civilization. Was there a precursor civilization, a forgotten chapter in the human story that we are only now beginning to read? From the Andes to the Nile, the evidence of a shared, advanced past is becoming harder to ignore. The Great Pyramid remains our most enduring mystery, a silent witness to a history we are still trying to understand. Join us as we continue to explore the secrets of the ancient world. Although mainstream Egyptology typically dismisses these theories as improbable or even impossible, growing evidence makes them increasingly difficult to ignore. Consider, for instance, the mysterious Osirian Temple at Abydos, constructed from massive granite blocks. This structure displays advanced precision and craftsmanship matching what we've seen inside the Great Pyramid. Skills supposedly beyond the reach of early Egyptians during the established historical timeline. Similarly, the massive granite boxes at the Serapeum of Saqqara show extraordinary precision. That would challenge even today's modern machinery, let alone Bronze Age tools. These remarkable discoveries seriously challenge the established historical narrative about ancient Egypt, hinting at hidden layers of history still waiting to be uncovered in the sands of time. Is it possible that mainstream archaeology has overlooked or perhaps intentionally ignored evidence? pointing to an older, highly advanced civilization behind Egypt's most iconic monuments? If so, who exactly were these mysterious builders, and how did they possess such knowledge? There is a puzzling lack of inscriptions clearly linking Pharaoh Khufu to the Great Pyramid. The incredibly precise stonework seems far too advanced for simple tools and primitive methods. As we explore deeper, the anomalies only multiply, forcing us to rethink everything we thought we knew. Could the foundation of these monuments date back thousands of years before the pharaohs? Evidence of water erosion on the Sphinx enclosure suggests a much wetter climate than the Old Kingdom. Some researchers point to astronomical alignments that suggest a date as far back as 10,500 BC. The internal engineering is so complex it implies a deep understanding of mathematics and physics. Was it a tomb or something far more functional? A machine perhaps, whose purpose is lost. The acoustic properties of the granite chambers suggest they were designed for resonance. Similar structures appearing globally hint at a shared, ancient architectural legacy. Catastrophes may have wiped the slate clean, leaving only the stones to speak for the builders. Why is it so difficult for mainstream science to entertain the possibility of an earlier civilization? A shift in our understanding of the past would require a complete rewriting of human history. Modern technology like muon scanning is beginning to reveal hidden voids and secrets. The stones themselves are the only surviving record of a peak in human achievement. As we stand before these giants, we must ask if we are looking at the dawn of civilization or its sunset. The mysteries of Egypt remain, challenging us to look closer and think deeper. In our search for the truth, we may find that our history is far more spectacular than imagined. Join us as we continue to uncover the hidden layers of our ancient past. I'm your host, and this is Egypt's Hidden History. The Great Pyramid of Giza. For centuries it has stood as a testament to human ingenuity, yet its true origins remain shrouded in mystery. Mainstream archaeology tells us these were tombs for pharaohs, built in just a few decades. But is that the whole story? When we look closer at the engineering, the gaps in the official narrative begin to widen. Could simple copper tools really achieve the level of precision we see in the hardest granite? Many researchers believe we are looking at evidence of a lost technology, one that predates the dynastic Egyptians. Take the Sphinx, for instance. Geologists have pointed to water erosion patterns that suggest it may be thousands of years older than history suggests. If true, this would mean a civilization existed long before the dawn of what we call recorded history. But why is the archaeological community so resistant to these findings? Let's look at what's still hidden. There are sealed chambers still waiting to be opened, and evidence hinting at a much older origin. We're left questioning the official version of history we've always been taught. These fascinating discoveries suggest that the pyramid's builders likely had knowledge and techniques far more advanced than mainstream history gives them credit for. While this idea might seem unusual at first, each new clue we find makes it more believable. Perhaps the ancient Egyptians knew more than we realize, and their advanced techniques were simply lost over time. Or maybe these monuments were actually built by an earlier civilization whose skills were passed down or adapted by the Egyptians later on. But if these ideas are so intriguing, why does mainstream archaeology still hesitate to explore them fully? One reason is that accepting an older, more advanced civilization could mean drastically changing the story we currently accept. Historians, archaeologists, and even entire countries have built their identities and reputations around the traditional timeline. Rewriting history books, museum exhibits, and deeply held ideas isn't easy. For Egypt, acknowledging that its famous pyramids might predate their known civilization or might not be purely Egyptian creations touches sensitive issues of national pride and identity. We are at a crossroads in our understanding of the human story. The evidence is mounting, but the resistance remains strong. New technologies like muon scans and satellite imagery are revealing secrets that can no longer be ignored. The pyramids have kept their secrets for thousands of years. They may yet force us to reconsider everything we know about our past. Are we ready to embrace a history that is much older and far more complex than we ever imagined? The journey to uncover the truth has only just begun. Thank you for watching. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for millennia, a silent witness to the rise and fall of civilizations. But despite centuries of study, we are only beginning to scratch the surface of what lies beneath these stones. Recent technological breakthroughs have revealed anomalies, voids and chambers that shouldn't exist according to our current maps. For the mainstream scientific community, every new discovery must be meticulously verified, often taking decades to reach the public. This slow pace creates a tension between traditional views and those who believe we are missing something far more significant. How did a Bronze Age society move and carve these stones with such mathematical precision? This question remains one of history's greatest hurdles. Geologists have pointed to water erosion marks that suggest a much older date for the Giza monuments than standard records allow. Some argue that significant evidence is being overlooked or even suppressed to maintain the status quo of our history books. Muon tomography and thermal imaging are now letting us see through solid rock, bypassing the need for intrusive digging. Yet, the path to obtaining permits to explore these new findings is often blocked by administrative and academic hurdles. By resisting deeper exploration into hidden chambers, ancient technologies, and alternative historical explanations, mainstream archaeology may unintentionally be keeping important truths hidden beneath the desert sands. Imagine if we found clear evidence beneath Egypt's desert of an advanced civilization forgotten by history. Such a discovery wouldn't just change our view of Egypt, it could alter our entire understanding of human history, challenging everything we've assumed about our ancestors and the incredible things they might have accomplished. Standing at the brink of these profound mysteries, we must ask ourselves, will archaeologists finally open these sealed doors and explore what's hidden inside? Or will the secrets of the Great Pyramid remain locked away, waiting for future generations brave enough to seek the truth? For more ancient mysteries, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to join us as we continue exploring the fascinating stories history still has left to reveal. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time, stay safe.